Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new episode of Coaching Success Story. Coaching success stories are the success stories of our certified career coaches who are part of our community called Career Leadership Circle. These are all senior professionals, passionate about helping others grow. And many of them have taken it up as a full time career. Some of the coaches are still in a full time job and they are looking at coaching as something that they can build on the side. And today we have a very special guest who has taken up career coaching after his long and enriching journey in his career, and then he has taken up coaching out of his passion, and he's our certified career coach. And in short span of time, he has started coaching a lot of people and creating the impact that is going to make a positive difference, that is already making a positive difference in the world. So let me welcome Sudhir. Hi, Sudhir. Hi. Great
Hey
to have.
Hemant, yeah, thanks for having me here and allowing me to share my experiences. Thanks for that, Hemant.
Yes, we are eagerly waiting, me and even the audience who is looking at, who is watching this, eagerly waiting to hear your story. So, Sudhir, let's begin with your background. Where, like, what was your career journey like before you took up coaching?
Sure. Where do I start, right? So I think I more or less worked in the software industry, mostly product companies, and I think I spent about 27 years in the industry. Uh, and in that 21 years in leadership roles, different leadership roles, managed team of like medium to large size, max up to 100 people. That's how it's been, right? Uh, Enjoyed every bit of my work. Uh, Managing people was something which I always loved doing. And I think that's what probably is helping me in my coaching journey as well, Hemant. But after 27 years, I thought, okay, let me not just take a break, but let me just get out of the rat race. And
Okay.
that's what I. The intent was that let me just retire from my work and probably enjoy the money that I have generated over a period of time, right? So that was the motive behind retiring or early retirement, I would say, Hemant.
Great. That's very interesting, Sudhir, and that's very inspiring also, because a lot of people, after 20, 25, 27 years of career, they want to do something different. But very few of them have the courage that you have shown to take that break, or even as you call that as early retirement, and enjoy the
Mhm.
life and enjoy the money that you have earned. So, which is very interesting and at the same time very inspiring. So let me ask you this question, right? So after 27 years of your successful career, what attracted you to coaching?
Hmm. Well, my goal was not to work. I mean, I was very clear that after my retirement, I will not work full time and I'll not do my second innings also. I was very clear about that. But I think it's reality is very different, right? I mean, it's after working for such a long time, it's very difficult to spend time. It's easy to say that I retire, but you can't just sit and do nothing, right? So then I started slowly doing mentoring,
Hmm.
where I had some of my team members reaching out for help,
Okay.
and I was able to guide them in whatever way possible. But that's when I realized that mentoring is a way of like just giving your suggestions or advices based on things that you know, right? If you
Yes.
have not been in that situation, your feedbacks are superficial, right? It's
Hmm.
more like chat GPT, right? So I thought it was important for me to do things the right way. And as my purpose and passion was to help people, I thought, why don't I take a formal route where I get to understand what is the right way to help people? And I found coaching to be the right platform, I would say, to help. Uh, and that's where I got into career coaching. That's what I did a bit of research and said, okay, I didn't want to take a certification for the sake of it because that's
Hmm.
not motive, right?
Right.
My motive was to help people, and if I can get the right ground rules, grind frameworks to
Yes.
help, uh, and that's how I got into coaching, Hemant.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And you're absolutely right. As a senior leader that you have worked as in your career, you have managed teams, mentored teams also. And as you rightly pointed out, Sudhir, that there is a difference between mentoring and coaching, even though there are some overlaps, but there is a difference between the two. And there are situations where mentoring could be very useful, and there could be other situations where mentoring is not much useful, where coaching is absolutely required. For example, behavior change, mindset change, where just telling people what to do is not going to help, as you rightly pointed out. And even the situations which you have not been into as a leader. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. So, so coaching. So today, Sudhir, we have a lot of different areas of coaching, like life coaching and leadership coaching, health coaching. Is there any reason, specific reason that you chose career coaching as your specialization or area of work?
Honestly, there is no specific reason, Hemant.
Okay.
I found career coaching something which is close to my heart, right? Because
Okay.
this is something that I've done. I was a professional for 27 years. There are challenges that I've gone through, right?
Yes.
And I could be related to career clarity, stagnation, promotion challenges, workplace dynamics. I mean, the similar challenges I felt, maybe there are a lot more people who are probably facing it
Hmm.
and probably don't have a conduit or a platform or somebody to share it with. So that was one of the easy reasons for me to start with that.
Right.
Having said that, since I like working with people, I do get into life coaching aspects.
Hmm.
But again,
Hmm.
my priority would be on career coaching because that is closer to my heart, Hemant.
Got it. Got it, Sudhir. And I can relate to that so much because when I started into the coaching field 10 years ago, 2015 starting, I had exactly similar thought process that I have gone through so many challenges in my own career. And at that point in time, I did not get much help in the organization and even outside. Because telling all your problems to your manager can backfire, right? And
Absolutely.
talking about your challenges with your friends, they may laugh at you, saying that, hey, don't take it so, why are you taking it so seriously? Chill out. But that's not the solution. So I decided to be a career coach for that reason. As they say, right, what pain or what challenges you have gone through, you get drawn to that
Yes,
area where you can help people in that. So I can see that, like you said, that the career journey that you have had, you wanted to leverage that experience also,
absolutely.
having gone
Yes,
through the journey yourself. Fantastic.
yes,
So as you mentioned earlier that certification not for the sake of certification, right? It is to learn something in a structured way. So when you have been through our career coach certification program. So, coming with so much of experience as a professional, having managed teams, mentoring people. So, what are those one or two things that you found useful, helpful in the career coach certification program journey that helped you in making your career coaching better, if I may use that word?
Hmm. I think there are many reasons. I would say a lot many. I think for me the key was the way it was structured. Right, that was something that connected with me well. And one of the challenges, Hemant, I think I talked about it in the past also, is that I have a challenge of focusing in a training session, right? It's difficult for me to be focused for 2 hours continuously, unless the topic is something which is really interesting. I think before I got into the program, I was very skeptical about can I do this? Because Hemant said 8 weeks, 2 hours every weekend, and I was not very sure. But I think there was never a point where I felt that no, I lost focus. I think what I'm trying to say is the structure and the framework made it so easy for me to be focused in the entire process. It was made more interesting, the discussions, the topic, the assignments, because it's all about self, right? If I'm
Yeah.
not able to coach myself first, forget about coaching others. So I think the entire structure was awesome, if I have to say use that word. Uh, and it gave us ample time to reflect, self-reflect in terms of where we are in that journey. Uh, and sometimes I had to ask myself, am I really coachable, right? Forget about coaching others. Am I really coachable? Am I ready
Yes.
to self-reflect and understand what my challenges are, what my values are, what is my real vision, what my strength is? I think that way, I think the structure has been really, really helpful. So my kudos to you for having a structure which is easy uh, to for anybody with experience to go through it, and the exercises, right? The assignments that you have, awesome ones, Hemant. So I think I had a great time going through the entire program, if I have to say it.
Thank you, Sudhir. Thank you. That means a lot. And when it comes, especially from a person like you, who has, so much of corporate experience and you have worked with people, mentored them, you found something valuable in those sessions. And you're absolutely right. Even the career coach certification program came into being, Sudhir, and I don't know if I have shared this earlier with you, but in this conversation, I wanted to share that I started coaching, or rather career coaching, since 2014 later half, and full time from 2015 starting first quarter of that. And in the last so many years, I have coached hundreds of people, hundreds of professionals of various experience levels, and they coming from more than 20 countries. And then there came a time, Sudhir, that I looked at this and said that if I work alone, how many people I can really, impact or make a difference to. Then few years ago, 6 years ago, actually, not few years ago, 6 years ago, I started building a team. And then we have a fantastic team, a smaller team, but a fantastic team.
Mm,
And we have together coached, serviced, or served rather, thousands of professionals in the last 6 years from more than 25 countries. Sitting here in India, we have never traveled. This is all
mm,
online coaching, as you know it. And even after doing that, I realized that, oh, even as a team, we can only, impact a few thousand or maybe 10,000 at the most. So we need a community of coaches, um,
mm,
who can make a bigger difference. So I started looking at as the amplification effect, and essentially
mm,
of good people, experienced people coming together. And that's how the program came into being. So it came from the experience that I gathered through my successes and failures. And I'm a structured person, so that, structure to the
mm.
program is out of my own need to learn in a easy bit by bit, bite by bite fashion. So it came into that, from that reason. Um, so now moving on to the next question. So many people ask me this question, Sudhir, right before, even before starting the coach training program, that, what happens after certification? Where do I get clients from? What is the journey looks like after certification? So please tell us, what has been your journey after certification? How did you start, and what has been your journey since that time?
Sure, Hemant. I think how do I start, right? So I think the 8 weeks was fun. Uh, when I got my certification, I thought, okay, I'm ready now. But that's not how reality is, right? I mean, that's when things start kicking in, where you feel, okay, can I really do this? It's just a piece of paper that I have, right? So you start questioning yourself, and typically it happens for any professional, right? It doesn't have to be in career.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. And I think then it's all about building that self-confidence. When we do a bit of more, I would say, practice, when we talk to our fellow coaches, understand the challenges that they are going through, talk to our team members who were in the coaching program, do lot of practice. I think I will stress on the practice aspect a lot, because until you practice, you can't get to the field, right? It's as simple as
Yes.
that. So I think I got into a similar challenge where I was a bit low on confidence after the certification, as anybody else. Am I ready to coach? And when I started pitching this to some of my team members whom I had mentored earlier, they were
Mm.
like, okay, how is this different from mentoring, right? You're
Yes.
just giving a name, right? So uh, it was a bit of challenging. Uh, and one thing I felt is there's no point waiting for the right time. You just need to jump on it, start doing it. And that's how
Yes.
I started. Yes, there were initial hiccups where I was moving towards mentoring, right? Giving that advice, which we are not supposed to do when it comes to coaching. And over a period of time, it has probably given me the right perspective. When do I coach and when do I mentor? Because
Right.
as you rightly said in a previous conversation, sometimes people don't open up, right? You just need to push them. You need to give them suggestions. You need to give them advice, right? And not everybody has limiting beliefs, or not everybody has need mindset change, right?
Yes.
So I think depending on what the client wants, I think I try to customize the session so that it's beneficial and helpful for the client. So coming back to your question, I think it was a roller coaster ride. It is still a roller coaster ride, I would say, wherein handling challenges in terms of how do I get clients. So I got into LinkedIn. I started writing daily post, and that took its own time. I started once a week with all the challenges, like can I write, who will read it? So I
Hmm.
think now I have a rhythm where I write on a daily basis, and I do get people who read it send me a DM or WhatsApp me and say, okay, can we talk about it? Because most of my posts are specific to emerging leaders or workplace dynamics or typical challenges that are faced by I would say professionals, right? So I think it's been a roller coaster ride. It's definitely not easy, but yes, it's fun.
Right. I really love the way you put it, right? Starting from, after certification, at the time of certification or graduation, there is a high, right? Now that I have, certification and which is globally recognized, right? And you have put in the effort for that, right? So you deserved that. And then there comes naturally, like you said, for most people, and I have experienced that also myself when I completed my first certification back in 2014, 2015 starting. Uh, I remember asking my coach and mentor at that time, Sudhir, that am I really ready? Am I really ready? And he told me something that I will never forget is that he said, Hemant, you will never be ready. And I was
Exactly.
even more shocked by that, right? Saying that, oh my God, my life, is shattering now. I took up coaching full time. I quit my corporate job and now here I am. And then he told me something as a follow up to that. He said that Hemant, readiness is a declaration. And
Mm.
then he said, you have to just declare that I'm ready to do this. And of course, it was not easy saying that, hey, I am ready, and that confidence came. But yeah, from that point on, I realized that it is about working on myself and having that, building that self confidence through practice, through learning, continuing the learning. And that is what helped me. And exactly what similar to that, which you mentioned. And also, you talked about sometimes we mentor people and sometimes we coach. And but over a period of time, we realize that which places they need suggestions
Exactly.
and what places powerful
Yes.
questions and perspectives or reflections help a lot more
Yes.
So that you
Yes.
very nicely put it. And then the next part is I regularly read your posts, Sudhir, and they are absolutely fantastic. They're to the point and they actually talk about challenges emerging leaders and mid-career professionals are facing. And that's why your posts are very, very heartfelt and they touch readers' hearts. And no surprise that you get a lot of engagement and a lot of appreciation for your post. And through that, you are actually able to attract prospective clients authentically and organically. Yes, so
Yes.
which is absolutely fantastic to see that. That's one of the ways to actually start building your practice because not by writing regularly and as you're writing consistently, I suddenly remembered I was watching a short clip of Ankur Warikoo yesterday. In fact, one of
Mhm.
my fellow coaches, she's a friend. She interviewed Ankur Warikoo. It was a short clip, and he said something which is very powerful. He said that as a coach, um, there are two things which are important. One is authenticity, and second is consistency. And he said that
Absolutely.
authenticity is something that only you can bring. And it was a question related to AI also that how we can use AI. So he said for consistency, for human beings, consistency is difficult. But you have achieved that, Sudhir, right? So he was saying that authenticity and consistency, which will create magic for people, and
Mhm.
which you have been able to do that. So, which is fantastic. And this is inspiring for all of us and all the aspiring coaches also. Great. So, with that, I will move to the next question is that after the certification, as this roller coaster ride, continues, you also enrolled into the Coach Accelerator program, which is specifically focused on building your coaching practice or coaching business. So, would you like to share with our audience that what are those maybe one or two things that helped you through that program, which took you forward in your journey?
Absolutely. I think the way I look at the Coach Accelerator program, or maybe call it as CAP, is more masters, right? I look at it as masters. You've done your bachelor's, and now you want to specialize a bit more, right? You want to get more deeper into it. So I think I didn't even think twice before I enrolled for it, because some of the things that you had talked about what will that cover, I think that connected with me a lot. And I typically go with my gut feel. It's not just about like data, right? When you have been with the person for about 8 weeks, you know how the things were structured. I was very clear that the CAP program would be structured better than that, if not the same, right? So I think the CAP program has definitely benefited me in multiple ways. For example, I think it went deeper into some of the key topics like discovery sessions. How do you get deeper conversations in discovery sessions? How do you actually convert a potential client into a serious client?
Right.
How do you pitch your program? How do you create your niche, right? How do you build your vision? How do you uh, target limiting beliefs, right? Which the customer may have. So I think there were deeper concepts that were discussed in detail in those. And when I say discussed, it's more collaborative. It's not just about Hemant coming and talking about it. It's more interactive. And we used to have these breakout rooms as well, where we used to take it to the next level. What made it really useful for me was the community, right? When you have fellow coaches who are at the same level as you, who have who have similar challenges in terms of confidence or other challenges, right? How to start a business. I think that made my life easier because I felt, okay, I'm not the only one. We are into this together. We can learn this together. So definitely that community definitely has been helpful. And last but not the least, I think the support we get from like Sham, who's a mentor coach, and definitely you, Hemant. When it comes to any questions that come up in our mind related to the topic of interest or related to business, I think we have been vocal, and you have been more than open enough to share your thoughts and keeping us on our toes when it comes to these weekly meetings that we have, making us more accountable, pushing us, right? So I think in that way, that's why I call it as masters, where you're taking your game to the next level. And CAP program has definitely been a blessing in disguise, if I have to say it that way.
Thank you, Sudhir. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad to hear that. The reason we started CAP program was exactly for that purpose, that people who are getting certified as career coaches now have learned the coaching part. Now they know the skills, now they have the skills, now they have the core competencies of coaching, they know the tools, they know the framework, they know the process, they know the behaviors that coaches need to inculcate to be effective coaches, and now they're ready to make an impact. And to make that
Yes.
impact, we need to, reach out to people, and that's where the marketing, the niche finalization, discovery calls, effectiveness in discovery calls becomes very important. So
Mm.
the it came from that need, and in fact, to share with you, Sudhir, this program was not available for the initial batches of certification that we completed. And this program came about because certified coaches started asking about, hey, Hemant, can you help us with the business building part of that? And that is
Yes.
where it came into being. And that's why I'm very happy to hear that from you, Sudhir, that it has been helpful to you in your journey of, post certification, building your practice.
No, absolutely, Hemant, because I think we have been having the sessions on a weekly basis for the last like 9 months or so. Uh, it is a challenge for somebody to run that program consistently without dropping the ball, pushing people, right, to make them more accountable for their own sake. It's not for you, right? It's you're doing it for them. So I think kudos to you for running this program with the same intensity the way it was started, and I hope it it gets the benefit that each of us are looking for. At least for me, it has been very beneficial, I would say, and I hope it happens for others as well. Hemant. Thanks to you.
Yeah. Thanks, Sudhir. Thank you so much. That means a lot. And so that brings me to probably, final one or two questions before we wrap up our conversation. And one question is about, it's like before and after kind of a, question that, if you go, let's say, uh, last year, 1 year ago, where you were as a person, and now after you stepped into coaching, and now you have been, certified as a career coach. Now you're working with, many clients that you're working with. You have been very consistent on LinkedIn, uh, all of that. So how do you see, 1 year ago and where you are today, how life has changed for you?
Honestly, it's changed completely, right? I can say 180 degrees on multiple fronts, right? I think I'm a better person now, and I mean it, right? Uh, I think the coaching journey itself has brought me. I mean, there were a lot of self-reflections that I had to go through as part of this program, uh, and I think I've become a better person, more calmer, more sober, I would say, and I'm able to help people in a better way compared than what I probably was doing 1 year back, right? There were things that probably I would have just read it in books, but when you actually experience it, right, it's a different feeling, right? I had my own limiting beliefs. And one belief that is that I can never write, right? I'm not good at expressing myself. I literally overcome that, right? And I'm able to do
You
that on a
shattered
daily
it.
basis.
You shattered it big time.
And maybe I wouldn't have done that if I probably wouldn't have taken the coaching as a path, right?
Yes.
I think so. In from that perspective, it has definitely helped me be a better person. In terms of networking, I think it has helped a lot. After I started posting on LinkedIn, I'm more vocal in terms of expressing what I think, what I feel. I've always been like that, but I think now I'm more blunt, I would say. I say the way the things are, and I think probably that connects better with people, builds more authenticity, I would say. So definitely, life is 180 degrees from where it was, and I think a lot of people know me because of my LinkedIn journey. I didn't post anything for like 17 years, and in the last 1 year, I've been posting almost on a daily basis, and
Yeah.
my network has definitely improved in terms of people knowing me for my niche in terms of workplace dynamics, or it could be emerging. So overall, I'll have to thank you again for that, Hemant. I mean, yes, we got to know by chance. I got to know Hemant by chance, and I went through this program. But it's been a blessing in disguise, if I have to say it again.
Fantastic, fantastic, Sudhir. And for 17 years, and you just mentioned that, and you had mentioned this before, I remember. For 17 years, you did not write. And in the last 6 months, 1 year, you have written how many posts now? So that our audience knows what's the number like
Yeah, I've been consistently posting since August last year.
last year.
So I think I hit about 420, 425
Wow,
posts.
that's so amazing. That's absolutely brilliant consistency on your part, Sudhir, right?
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
and you have added and you have created value for readers. So,
Mhm.
and your articles are, as I said, that they touch the heart. And actually you
Mhm.
touch the heart of the matter through what you write. Brilliant, brilliant.
Thank,
So,
thank you, Hemant.
yeah. And before we wrap up, this is final question. So, what is your one message, Sudhir, for anybody who is considering coaching? Anybody who is a senior professional, maybe at a mid career, and they are looking at starting coaching as a career, or maybe they are in a job and they are passionate about helping others. So, what is your one message for people uh, who are possibly considering career coaching as an option for them?
I would say get into coaching only if you are passionate about working with people and you want to give back, right? Uh, don't start with the focus that I want to make more money or it can be a second innings. These are outcomes, right? That will anyway happen. But if you're not willing to uh, or passionate about helping people, listening to them, right? Then don't get into it. Uh, People who come with like 15 plus years of experience, I would say they're the best people to get into coaching because they have that experience. They have gone through the mess, right?
Yes.
And they would be the right candidates to be career coaches, if not other coaching aspects. I think they should definitely look at it. But having said that, I would just reiterate this again. Passion is important. If you don't connect with people, then don't get into coaching, right? But if you're on that fence thinking, should I or should I not get out? I would say take that step. Uh, you can take it forward. I would say it that way, Hemant.
Thank you. Thank you, Sudhir. And your story, what you shared, in this conversation is going to boost people's confidence that absolutely they can do that. So thank you so much, Sudhir, for your time today. It's a pleasure always talking to you and amazing, the way you share your story authentically. So thank you so much once again. I really, really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, Hemant, for having me here and giving me an opportunity to share my journey and also uh, making me realize that I think following the passion, it's not something which you just keep thinking about it. You need to do it. And I think career coaching has helped me take that approach, I would say.
Brilliant. That's fantastic, Sudhir. So thank you so much and all the best to you. Thank you.
Thank thank you.